I think the UK has been a leader in research in all areas, and increasingly natural sciences. And the amount of knowledge, data that is actually generated by these research organisations have a huge value to UK and international businesses. And it's really understanding how that knowledge can be translated for use by colleagues in the private sector. In terms of cross-sector coherence, I think there's two elements to this question. I think in terms of like the way in which data's used or applied, or indeed the development of tools, the use of things such as satellite data, I think there needs to be a coherent way in which we organise, process, catalogue, enable different users to actually access that information. But I think when you start to use that information at a more finer scale, to start asking questions, a lot of that then becomes much more contextual. So you have to take into consideration, for example, the local communities, the local context of land use. So in order trying to get a one-size-fits-all for research and innovation, I think it depends very much on where you're coming at the problem. I think with research and innovation is always trying to look at answering a problem or answering a challenge. And those challenges are understood by different elements of society. And we talk about business. Business is made up of human beings, as is all of the other sectors. But they have a specific view or a specific stance on how the private sector, how the economy is actually operating, that perhaps policymakers, academics, or indeed civil society as a whole won't necessarily understand. So what they can bring is that understanding of markets, that understanding of international flows of ideas and how we communicate with business. And I think also critically is that information and data needs to be a two-way flow. I know from my personal experience working within JNCC, we know that the private sector holds a lot of data, very, very excellent data, which actually public bodies can't afford to access. So it's actually being able to share that knowledge and share that data in a way that is acceptable and obviously doesn't kind of impede commercial sensitivities or aspects like that, really.